Morning, everybody. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Instagram. How is everyone doing this morning? It is Thursday. It is 9:30. It is Cotton Cuts. Good morning time. Good morning, Melissa, Terry, Sharon, Aaron, Terry, Terry, and Sharon. Good morning, guys. I appreciate you guys joining us. Oh my gosh. So, if you joined us on time today, and if you missed it, you're definitely going to have to go back and watch it again. Paula snuck in some names of some PMQ colorways in there. I'm impressed, guys. These names are awesome. You guys have done a fantastic job naming these colorways, and that is fun. So yeah, go back, watch the intro again, guys, because she snuck in some names in there. Always a surprise on Cotton Cuts. You never know what we're gonna do. I hope the weather's fantastic where you guys are. It is raining. I feel like we're not April showers bring May flowers. I think we're May rain brings June heat. I don't know. But the only good thing is that all this rain is washing away all the cicadas. So like happy for that bit because the noise they are making is obtrusive and obnoxious. Okay. All right. So we're going to start as we do every Thursday with questions that are submitted by you guys. We have two on the docket for this morning. Again, these are handed to me. I literally, guys, I sit down here and the paper is here, and Paula is content to surprise me. So, first question comes from Joyce. Joyce from Montgomery, Alabama. Joyce submits a lot of questions. Thank you, Joyce. That is fantastic. Her question today is my question is on rulers versus a cutting mat. Are rulers more accurate than a mat? I've heard not to trust a mat's measurements. Okay, so yes, so Joyce, you are absolutely right on this. So I think when I was first starting out and I was measuring fabric, I used to use the lines and the grids as measurement on the cutting mat that I was using. And I think when we get to bigger cuts, like if you're cutting 18 and 20 inches, like that's okay to use. But if you're one of those precise quilters and it's important to you that if a block is 3.5 inches, it's 3.5 inches, you should be using your ruler and the lines on your actual plastic ruler to measure your components. And that's one of those ones. Mats are rubberized, right? And rubber stretches over time. If you leave it in the sun, it can warp. Sometimes if you cut too much on those lines, if you use like the same increment, the line can wear away and it can just lead to a little bit of inaccuracy. I would say if you're that particular quilter, you should be using your ruler. And when you use the ruler, you want to make sure that the line you're using to measure is on top of the fabric you are cutting, not off to the side or next to, but it's actually when you're looking at it, it's on top of the fabric. I mean, of course, if you're one of those folks that's like, hey, I'm just creating and I'm just having fun in my play space, then you can definitely just use the mat. I would say, this stretching and shrinkage is probably also a little bit of marketing done by companies that produce expensive rulers as well. To get you to buy more rulers. I would say, if you're cutting really, really small pieces, definitely use your ruler. But if you're cutting bigger pieces, your mat is going to be totally fine. Here in the shop, we definitely use the rulers. That's one of our promises and commitment is that we make sure that we get you guys accurate pieces that are cut to the right dimension. And so we use templates that are precision. Like if we're cutting a 6.5 inch strip, we have a 6.5 inch template. So there's no real measuring. We don't leave a lot to chance because we want to make sure we're giving you guys accurate things. Me personally, if I'm going anything more than about 10 inches, I'm going to go ahead and use my cutting mat. But I will use the ruler for anything pretty small. But as with everything, it always depends. So thank you, Joyce. I appreciate your question. That was awesome. I love talking about measurements and it's just the rulers versus the mat. All right, our next question comes to us from Kate from Staunton, Virginia. Thanks so much, Kate. Good morning to you. I've heard a lot about people using bamboo batting. Can you explain the difference between bamboo and 100% cotton? Which is warmer and better to use and why? Okay, so bamboo batting as a substrate is something that's come in relatively recently. I would say probably in about the past 10 years. It was about the time that people were learning that bamboo as a renewable resource grows really fast. I think this was the time when like all the home improvement shows said you should plant bamboo in your backyard if you wanted something to grow fast and be able to cover. And so bamboo grew in popularity 10-ish, 15-ish years ago. And then it was determined that it could be an alternate substrate for textiles. And so bamboo, you're seeing bamboo yarn, you see bamboo clothes, you're seeing bamboo batting. And so the piece about bamboo batting is it's actually very comparable to cotton, right? With respect to durability, with respect to warmth, with respect to thickness. Bamboo is very, very good and similar to cotton. You can come in different lofts as well. The one thing to watch out about with bamboo is to make sure that it's 100% bamboo, because just like cotton batting, it gets mixed in with a lot of different substrates. And so once you start mixing in those substrates, then it loses a little bit of the properties that make it bamboo. And I think people buy bamboo batting because they like the sustainability of using the bamboo and the fact that it's a regenerative resource and it grows so fast. But once you start mixing it in with all those poly substrates, then it's going to start losing some of the benefits that you get for using the bamboo. It is probably a little bit more expensive than cotton, but as with everything, these prices are constantly fluctuating and changing. And I would say that, in my experience when I was doing research on bamboo a while ago, it actually shrinks a little less than cotton. So if you're one of those quilters that loves to put a quilt and put it in the washing machine and bring it out and it's all crinkly and it looks like it's been loved and it's all, everything shrinks together, bamboo, it might not be your best bet. If you like it for its sustainability, for the regenerative resource, that is definitely something that you can use bamboo as an alternate resource. I think there's a lot of comments. Bamboo is softer than cotton. But guys, I'm not tearing open my quilt and feeling the bamboo, right? So that's one of those ones. Once it's on the inside, I can't tell you at a quilt show what they use on the inside of the quilt, right? And so I feel like it's more me as the maker and how do I feel about the content that I'm putting on the inside of my quilt. I see a question. Do you pre-wash fabrics? This is so much debate on preaching. I've never pre-washed unless I use red. Okay, I'll answer that question too because we've got time and I'm hanging out here. So I would say 20, 30 years ago, you would have to pre-wash everything. And that's because technology at the time was such that the colors were not very color fast in fabric. And so you would have to pre-wash it if you didn't want it to bleed on something else. I would say that now there's so much digital printing, the technology has increased so much that very seldom does a color actually leach anymore. I say very seldom because I've done batiks are a different beast. Let's put batiks in a separate basket. When it comes to quilting cotton, the colors are pretty color fast now. If you are concerned about anything bleeding and you don't want to be burned in the final project, then I would say yes, pre-wash it. But understand that if you are pre-washing a fabric in your project, you need to pre-wash all of them because you want to make sure that everything shrinks at the same rate, that everything sews at the same rate. Same with starch. If you're starching your fabrics, you starch everything, not just some of it, and you starch it all at the same phase. And so once you make that decision on what you're going to do, make sure you do it on everything. And then that way you'll end up in the same process. So yes, so once we come to batiks, guys, and we're going to talk a little bit about batiks and the process and how batiks are made here in a minute. But since those are hand done, since they're hand washed, I would highly recommend using a retain or using a die catcher and pre-washing those batiks, especially if you use red. The way that the red pigment is, it's actually lighter and it comes out of suspension faster, which is why red as a color is harder to keep that color fastness together. And so the red pigment is actually a different weight and it comes out of solution, which is why it tends to bleed. And so I think color, there's no real right answer here other than I can say in general, quilting cottons today are made to be more color fast and it is not generally recommended. You don't have to pre-wash them as you used to do 10, 15, 20 years ago. Okay. So let's go down. Thank you so much, Kate, for the question. That's fantastic. And thank you guys for the color question. I can digress all day long. This is fun. This is fantastic. So if you would like to submit a question for me for next week, go to cottoncuts.com/live. So I got it. We'll take a pause right there. So I am actually not going to be coming to you live next week because I am taking a family vacation. We are going to see a dear friend get married in Mexico. So next week's show is not going to be live. We'll have some questions. We have a pool of library that we'll bring forward, but we won't be live. We will be broadcasting it live, and my team will be on and answering questions and kind of making sure that all the things I'm sharing with you, you guys get answered. But for next week, it'll be pre-recorded. I will be in Mexico. I will be probably drinking some mezcal and having fun with a bunch of friends. But in 2 weeks, I will definitely be live because that is the day before our PMQ launch. All right, so don't forget, if you're joining us on Facebook and on YouTube, make sure to give StreamYard permission so that way we can see your name because I'm seeing a lot of people check in and we love engaging with you guys. Our team is in the corners and making sure that everyone sees everything. Don't forget, we're going to be giving away awesome prize today. So make sure you stay till the end. We will have a special question and you have to hang out with us until the end to be able to enter to win. All right. So what's happening at Cotton Cuts headquarters this week? Okay. So you guys have been watching on social media. We are naming those colorways, guys. And as I said, if you missed our little intro today, you missed the announcement of some of the names. They're so cute. They're adorable. I love it. This is fun. I love a theme, guys. I'm one of those Pinterest moms and I throw the party with all the crazy stuff. And so the fact that we've found so many names and when I see the name next to the colorway, it just fits, it clicks. It is just fun. I know there's a lot of quilt shops out there that are like, we just sell fabric, but like we also like to have fun when we're doing that too. So I appreciate all of your help in naming those colorways. So much fun. Signups are coming for Wild West. We're going to talk a lot more about that in the coming week. Floral States of America, guys, like this one's coming together awesome. I actually I showed you guys when we first launched it this color map that we're going to include with the program. And so we actually have them printed. So this is the full size. They are going to be 11 by 17. Each state has its own different kind of print. As we sew the states, we're going to be coloring them in and we're going to give you guys prizes. Each month, we're going to give away a $25 gift certificate to one lucky person. And then on the back, this is my favorite part. The team did a fantastic job here is the actual states and it has all the state flowers. So that way you know exactly in the map. And as you do each one, I'm a big checklist person, guys. And so like when I saw this, I was like, oh, check, check, check. And so you can keep up and track your progress and color your way across the states. This is a lot of fun, guys. And a little birdie told me we might have colored pencils so to help it make it really easy for you. So it's all in one super fun, fantastic package. Again, guys, we like to have fun. And this is one of those like super fun things. I saw this map and I would like to color it. So I'm hoping you guys join us and of course win fun, fantastic prizes. All right. We are prepping clue 5 and 6, guys. So this, I mentioned this last week. In the shop, this is the time where we start working ahead. So we're doing clue 5 and 6. We're going to do clue 7. We're going to do clue 8 and 9. Because we have time now before the craziness of Wild West begins. So our team is working ahead. And so, it's one of those things. I know that there's like maybe you guys are making them as we ship them. No, our team works ahead and then we store them and then we mail them when the time comes. And so that's kind of the behind the scenes. This is one of these things, these projects are planned so far in advance that we just kind of keep going. All right, so we shipped Modern Maker fabrics yesterday, guys. Those fabrics were bright and fun this month. I like it. I feel like May is the like anticipation of summer, and so the fabrics fit perfectly with that. And then we ship our classic fabrics, which we will talk a lot more about in just a minute. We're going to ship those on Monday. So we're moving. We now have a location, guys. I'm so excited. We have a signed lease. We will be moving in the month of August. For those of you that live in the Midwest, that is a perfect time to not want to have to move. However, we're moving in August. And so part of our process is we're going to kind of over the next couple of weeks take you through kind of parts of our website that you might not know about, things in our shop that exist that are there. And here we go. All right. So we have remnants that we upload onto our website all the time. And so this is one of these things. I know there's some people out there that have the Cotton Cuts remnant tab open and every day just refresh it and just kind of see what new remnants we've posted into the shop because we always have like a yard or two left over at the end of the bolt. And we just take a whole batch of them and we upload them. And I think in the past week, we've uploaded maybe 125 remnants. Guys, these are like fun little things to grab up. We fill orders and folks. So remnants, if you're not tracking and managing the Cotton Cuts remnants page, you guys need to get on this because there's a lot of fantastic and fun fabric in there. And it's, 27 inches, 36 inches, 45 inches. It's fantastic. I am seeing questions about where are we moving to. Okay. So our current home right now, we are in a mall. We're in, like a one of those malls, every 80s horror movie was set in, the place where the kids in high school would run, walk laps around that's now empty. And so this has been our home for about 5.5 years. We're here with all sorts of crazy businesses that are just looking for a place to be. There's like pickleball courts in the first floor that are constantly being used. There's a little people have offices here. It's kind of a fun little community of oddball businesses. And they've decided they're going to tear down the mall where we are currently stationed and put something bigger and better here, which is great. I live 3 miles from here, so bigger and better is awesome. The home that we found is actually just a couple miles from where we are. And it is out in a shopping center called the Valley, Chesterfield Valley. And we are actually moving into a space that was a former laser tag. And so this is one of these places where kids could come and do laser tag, a big wide open space. And the laser tag place moved out, which is perfect because we get to move in. And so the landlord's great. I mean, obviously, laser tag is lots of dark and black. And so they're going to repaint everything and open it up for us. But it'll be a big, wide open space for our team to be able to create in and keep doing what we're doing. And we're putting all the plans in place to continue uninterrupted. So that way, you know, all the shipments will still go out on time. All the orders will still go out in time. Our team is awesome. And we're thinking ahead now to make sure that we don't impact you guys, because that is the absolute worst possible outcome, is that you guys don't get what you want, get what you need when you order it. And so we're making sure all that's going to happen. So thank you for the questions on this, guys. All right, so the remnant page. Yes, Melissa, as she's evidently already checked it out while I've been talking about the move. There's a lot of good stuff on there, guys. Definitely check that out. Keep that page open, refresh it. We drop those once or twice a month or so, depending on how frequently they build. We also have, and this is kind of one of those corners of our website that nobody really talks about, but I love. We have these products called Calliope kits. And so this is something we created during the pandemic. And so people were staying at home, people were picking up their sewing machines, they wanted quick things to sew. We would sell these at quilt shows all the time. And so we call them Calliope kits. And what they are is there's 10 strips that are 6.5 inch wide with the fabric. And so 6.5 by about 42, 43 inches wide. And there are 10 strips. There's 2 of 5 different prints in a collection. And they're meant to be just like that. Hey, I need to make a quick throw quilt for a friend who's having a baby, or a coworker that's retiring, or a birthday for someone. Since they're 6.5 inch wide, you can make 6.5 inch squares like that, and then spend time just kind of laying them out. We have a couple blog posts on our website. I actually made a Calliope quilt during the pandemic to raise money for our employees that were displaced because of the pandemic. And it was a lot of fun, guys. I mean, I made half square triangles and then spent, I don't even know, an hour and a half like rotating them. And I was like, okay, I can make pinwheels. Okay, now I can make squares. Okay, now I can make envelopes. And it was a lot of fun just to play with something so simple and fabrics that coordinate and look really great together. And so I want to show you guys, I think we have 6 on the website now. There'll be more coming over time. But so kind of here's kind of one of them. This is called Arrival of Winter. Right, it's kind of a nice kind of blue-ish winter theme. Definitely go take a look at our website, guys, because I'm not the colors on the screen are a little different. Okay. Then we also have this mosaic tile, which is Murano, and so it's got all these. It's funny because like this reminds me of Oaxaca, which is where I'm going, where I'm going to see a ton of mosaic tiles. Then we also have Joy Blue, which is these lovely metallic fabrics. These are luscious, guys. That pink against the teal pops so nicely. It is a ton of fun. And as you can see, each kit, right? So you get the full, like, they're already cut 6.5 inches. Like, a lot of the work is already done. And so they make a super, super, super quick quilt kit. All right. Then we also have locks. This one was very popular, guys. Like this one, people really, really liked when they got it in their modern maker box, the metallic, the paisley, the floral. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Melissa. This one definitely has a little shimmer. This one's got some metallic on it, as does this Joy Baloo. They have metallic in them. And you know, we've talked a little bit metallic. So our team is a little shy of metallic in some cases because the processing can make it really hard and brittle and very difficult to work with. These ones I like. These ones are soft. They're not adding additional complexity to the fabric, and they're lovely to sew with, and they add the little pops. And then the manufacturers are very good at mixing them with some basics so your eye can rest and not be completely blinded by the light. Okay. And then here is Sugar Maple. This is a Ruby Star. Ruby Star, a lot of our folks really, really liked, as we learned in our Whatnot last week. So this is a Ruby Star Sugar Maple collection. So you get all the 5 fabrics. There's actually, I'm going to show you, there's 2 strips of each print in each one. You can sew squares, you can do pinwheels. I mean, really wherever the inspiration takes you. All right, and then we have this Deco Glow 2 by Juicy Juice. This fabric has been a surprise to our team, guys. When it first came in, we were like, do we like this? Do we not like it? We like how it die cuts. We like how it feels. People that are sewing this together for the mystery really, really like how it's sewing together. So we have this kit in the shop as well. Check those out. Like I said, it's one of those pages where if you like it, just keep it open and keep refreshing it because we drop things in there all the time whenever it's available. I see a question from Terry. Do we have any Carnival still available? Yes, Terry, we have Carnival whole quilts on the website right now. And so if you go in, you can buy a whole quilt. You'll get all 10 months all at once. You get all 10 clues, and we ship that out to you. Takes us about a couple days to make them, but we definitely do have some Carnivals. So if you've seen a Carnival finished quilt and you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I could get that kit, we have the quilt in a box for Carnival on the website. Simply search for it and it'll pop right up for you. Okay, I think that's all the questions on that. So now on to our main topic. Guys, we've been talking for a long time. Super sorry today. I'm about to lose my voice, so we got to hustle this up here. So we ship our classic boxes on Monday. And so what is our classic box? So classic is actually how Cotton Cut started. Almost 8 years ago, Classic was the very, very first subscription box that I created and we started selling. We love it. Classic is a preference-based subscription. So think about like a Stitch Fix. You answer a short survey, you tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, and then we curate a custom bundle of fabric specifically for you. And so in this, we shop from, we shop from about 7 different categories of fabric each month. These are all fabrics that have been released within the past month or two. And our team takes a look at your preferences, what you say you like, what you say you don't like. Do you like bright fabric? Do you like jewel tone fabric? Do you like earth tone? Do you like pastel? And then what fabrics you don't like. And we collate all the fabrics together and send you a bundle of fabric that aligns with what you're telling us you like and what you don't like. And so my favorite part about this is I love reading what someone likes and then putting together a box that they're going to love. This is not shopping for me, guys. This is not me picking up fabrics I like and sending them to you. This is really kind of reading, but then we get to be detectives. This is the time when our team gets to be the detective and we get to be like, okay, so this person, does not like modern fabric, but hey, they like 30s reproduction, and Tula Pink has a fabric that looks like 30s reproduction. So we kind of like weaving those in to kind of just, show you maybe something outside your box that you haven't necessarily seen before. And so we really like the classic. We like kind of popping in those things that you might not know. Another reason why we launched the classic was because, quilt shops all the time are closing down and people are losing access to that quilt shop down the street that they used to be able to pop into and get fabrics. Plus, there's a lot of fabric in the world, guys. There's a lot of fabric that gets released 3 to 4 times a year. And it's really impossible for one shop to have all of that in stock. And so this is a good way to help you buy with confidence online. If we ship you a fabric in your classic box that you might not be able to see at a local quilt shop, then you can buy more online and know what it looks like, know what it feels like, know what the colors look like. And so this is a great opportunity to just explore. I literally, when I started this business, I had no idea about any of this. I was one of those quilters that I would go in a quilt shop and be like, hey, I like a yard of that. Hey, I like a yard of that. I didn't realize until I knew a lot more that I buy a lot of Allison Glass without knowing I buy a lot of Allison Glass. And so this is one of these things that now that I've used the classic box to educate myself as to the designers and the process and the manufacturers, I now know more about what I like, but also know more about what I don't like. And so I feel like that's one of the services we bring to our classic customers, to our classic members, is you learn more about what you like, and it really helps you kind of fine tune so you make better buying decisions instead of where I started, where I was like, oh, this is pretty, I'll grab this. Oh, this is pretty, I'll grab this. And then in 4 years, I wonder what I was doing. All right. So what I want to do is I want to go through each of the questions on the classic survey and kind of give you an example of what our team works with. So I have a representation of all the fabrics that are going to ship on Monday. And so the way our team looks at it is we look at it kind of by grouping of type of fabric, and then we overlay it with what color you like. And so the first and probably easiest to describe category is batiks. And so you tell us if you like batik or if you don't like batik. And each month, all the batiks are different. So what I'm showing you is very specific to just this month. Next month, totally different. And then the month after, totally different. But if you like this and want this next month, that's one of the things our team does is we go back and we grab it and we bring it forward for you. And so for those that don't necessarily know, so a batik is a special type of fabric that's made in Indonesia. It's made in Bali on an island called Java. And so a batik is traditionally made using wax relief. So there's about an 18-inch block of metal that they apply hot wax to, and they actually stamp the fabric at certain intervals. This is done outside, open air, on the ground, all done by hand. And so they actually stamp the fabric with this hot wax, then they overlay color on it, then they wash out all the hot wax, and sometimes they rinse and repeat, which is how you get the differences, which is how you get the modeling, which is how you get the variability. Batiks are all handmade. They are also a higher weave than a traditional quilting cotton. So you have to use a really sharp needle when you're sewing with a batik, but it is all hand done. And so that kind of lends itself to some natural variability. And so there are some people that love batiks, that only sew with batiks. I never sewed with a batik until I started this company, because batiks were always that one wall in the quilt shop that was deemed too expensive for me to be able to shop at. And it was kind of scary. And I didn't want to go and buy a yard of a batik because it was more expensive and I didn't know how to use it. And so with the classic box, I actually challenged myself to kind of break back. And I really kind of wanted to, let's try it, right? This is a great opportunity. Give me a fat quarter, like I might as well play with it. And so, this is one of these things. I sew with batiks all the time now. I really, really, really like batiks. And I'm one of those rebels that will mix a batik with a quilting cotton, because at the time of sewing them, they're a little different. But once you wash them 3 and 4 times, it's indistinguishable what's a batik versus a quilting cotton. All right. So our batiks this month, we always look for something different. I don't like to send basic batiks that are just like modeled colors. And so this one comes to us from Banyan. Banyan batiks, if you guys aren't watching Banyan batiks, you definitely need to get in on this. They do a lot of crazy and quirky batiks with a lot of different designs in them. And so this month, our batiks have, they're all air travel themed. I'm going to get to that in just a second. So you can kind of see, like, this one has helicopters as biplanes on it, right? And so this is a red batik. It's modeled and it has biplanes on it. We also have this batik that will be included in these boxes if you choose to opt in. It has hot air balloons, right? So they have their little stamp, their little wax relief, and they actually stamp the hot air balloons, and then they put all sorts of different colors into them. And so here we have kites, because again, Banyan does, thematic batiks that are a little different. And so you could choose to, accentuate the air theme in that, or just simply use that color as motion and theme in a smaller piece that you cut. So those are the batiks. Our team has a collection they choose from, and what they'll do is they'll read the preferences of the people. And if you love batiks, you're going to get all the batiks we have from this collection in your box. If you say, I hate batiks, congratulations, you will not be getting any of these. That is something we definitely do specifically for this box. No two people get the same box, guys. For the classic, if you tell us you love batiks, you're going to get these batiks. If you tell us you don't want batiks, you will not see any of those batiks in your box. Easily done. All right, our next category is floral. And so my team was asking me, like, what defines a floral fabric? And so floral can be anything from 1880s calico all the way up to big graphic, like cave floral. And so our team tries to do a great job at kind of mixing it up each month. So Moda makes a lot of very traditional floral prints. They're very pretty, guys. We like Moda florals. They're like Riley Blake florals. They're a lot of fun florals, and they have a lot of kind of small to medium scale. But every now and then we'll throw in a free spirit floral, because we'll find a floral collection that is just awesome. And we want to make sure that we're changing it up and continuing to inspire everybody. So this month we have a Moda collection. So this is a traditional Moda floral print. And so you can see our team does a great job at kind of shopping for different scales of the floral. Sometimes it's small, sometimes it's big. Depending on what you tell us your color choice is. Again, these are only 4 of the ones that we're going to be shipping. If you say you never want any floral, you're not going to see any of these. If you love them, you'll see all of them plus more. If you tell us you like small scale floral and not medium scale, you're going to get this small scale print, but not this medium scale print. And so that's how kind of our team works through these fabrics, is we really kind of read what you're telling us. We take it to heart, and we want to send you fabric that you're going to love and enjoy, but you might not have access to that Moda print when you go shopping or if you look online. The next category of fabric is probably the most contentious in the classic box. And this is one, we call it reproduction. And so when our team goes buying for reproduction fabrics, we are finding everything from 1880s all the way up to 1970s reproduction postmodern. And that can include 30s feed sack. That can include all of the William and Morris reprints of the 1880s. Plus, that can include modern designers that are now designing in colors that are representative of reproduction. And so I would say when I first started Classic, 7, 8 years ago, the only people that really wanted the reproduction were very, very experienced, very seasoned quilters. And what I am seeing now is that there is a shift towards a younger quilter that is really loving and enjoying reproductions. And so we would get a lot of people that said, don't send me reproductions. They were in the, brown, navy, Civil War era. And now we're getting people that are like, please send me that. So it's just fun to see this box and see how trends come and go. And so the reproduction that we're going to be sending this month it's a Moda reproduction. And you can see it's got the 1880s. It's got that rose, that brown, that yellow, but it is a little brighter. And so that's one of the things I like seeing the trends in reproductions is these prints, like this is as 1880s reproduction as it's going to get. It's got the brown and it's got the taupe, but it is a brighter color hue. And then I very, very seldom see this mint green. And if you're watching us on YouTube and Facebook, guys, I'm real sorry. It is definitely washing it out, but it's closer to like a mint chocolate chip green. That is our reproduction this month. And so we have others in that fabrics. But yeah, if you are a reproduction fan, we can help you out with that. We do reproductions. And I know there's not a lot of quilt shops that sell as much modern fabric as we do, but also have equal parts reproduction. And that's just part of kind of what Cotton Cuts is. We do a little of this and a little of that. Okay, then my next two categories. These are the ones where I'm surprised. We have people that love and people that hate our juvenile and our holiday category. So these are ones where our team gets to put in fun fabrics that are a little different. Like we don't want to put fabrics into holiday and juvenile that you can easily get at a big box retailer. We want to find like cute, fun things that are inspiring and that might be a catalyst for another project. And so when it comes to holiday, I know when I say holiday, people think traditional Christian-based holidays. We like to think kind of what is a season? So right now it is May, and there's a lot of people gearing up for summer in the I'm gonna say in the Northern Hemisphere. I see some people from Australia who are joining us at 1 a.m. Thank you so much for that. But I understand it's not necessarily you guys are preparing for summer now. We are preparing for summer in the Northern Hemisphere. And so our holiday seasonal this month gets and harkens to the summer elements. And so we've got these like super bright tiles, but our team saw these little flamingos and we are like, that is stinking cute. Little flamingos have like straws, right? It's super fun summer. And then here's this, right? And so this is not like, this is not any Memorial Day. This is not truly, but it is very seasonal, right? Like I feel like I can make a bag and take this with me to Mexico next week with the kids and it would be amazing. Like maybe Dominic, I'll have a drawstring backpack with this fabric and not know it until it comes. But we like to find things that you don't necessarily find elsewhere, right? So I mean, this has got like fruit. I mean, this is adorable. And so that is our holiday seasonal. Now next month, since it's going to be June, we'll probably do something a little different. And then, it kind of fluctuates as the year goes on. And then, yeah, Catherine, oh my gosh, Catherine, thank you so much. Catherine is one of those people that loves the juvenile and the holiday because she makes a lot of quilts for kids. And her notes, I mean, she's very clear. She's like, send me all the juvenile and holiday you can. So we do every time. And Catherine, like, these are probably fabrics that she probably doesn't have access to, but yet she gets in her classic box each month. And then we have our juvenile collection. And so for juvenile, we like to think of kind of anything that fits for children under the age of about 12. And so these fabrics, we like the Dear Stellas, we like kind of the quirkier designers. And so for this month, we found this super cute camping bear collection from Clothworks. And so this is kind of the big focal print, guys. It's got these cute little bear faces on it. Like, oh my goodness. I know there's a ton of on-trend babies right now that are being done with bears. I think we went through a black and white phase. We're coming back to a neutral phase. But a lot of baby quilts, a lot of juvenile quilts. We've got this like sorry, it's upside down. We've got this like foresty, like moon prints, all that stuff. This is our juvenile collection for this month. We like to do things that are kind of on trend for kids without being kind of when I was growing up, everything juvenile was pastel blue and pastel pink. There's a lot more out there for children than that. And we like to ship those to our members to kind of inspire them because when my sister-in-law had her baby, she said she wanted a black and white baby thing, and I was like, but wait, what about the pastel pink and the pastel blue? And so I had to stretch myself. And I think had I asked an enthusiast to send me black and white juvenile print, I would have been ahead of that. All right, then our last category. So this is our loosest definition of categories. And so we always ship blenders to our members. And so I know when I say blenders, a lot of people will think, basics. So they'll think polka dots, or they'll think stripes, or they'll think chevron, or they'll think kind of color wall at a quilt shop type fabric. And so for me, when we're buying for the blenders for our classic members, we typically like to put larger collections that have a lot of color variability into them, that aren't any of the other categories. So basically nothing that I've just talked about. And so this month, our blenders are Kaif's latest collection, Kaif Facet. That is a designer that has no classification. It's really hard to think about where would you put a Kaif fabric in anything that I've described now. And so we've included Kaif in our blenders. And so we have a lot of his latest collection. Kaif always quarterly releases about 100 different fabrics. If you are a Kaif fan, we can definitely help you with that. But we've got a lot of we usually select the newest Kaif prints. So some of these you might, this is a classic Kaif, these shells right here, but this is one of the newer prints, right? So if you are a Kaif fan, then these blenders are going to definitely scratch your itch. This one right here, when we were folding it, the team was like, this is the craziest, quirkiest little fabric I've ever seen, but it is definitely Kaif. And so if you are a Kaif lover, we can help you. If you never want to see Kaif, we can definitely help with that. And so the blenders is kind of fun factory. We'll put a lot of Allison Glass sun prints in there. Every now and then Tulip Pink releases a collection that'll become a blender. Sometimes, like the Deco Glow was a blender for us, right? And it's one of those, it's just kind of a fun little category to put in non-defined prints that can really supplement a lot of other fun things. So that's how we shop for fabrics for our classic box. Now, if you're going along and you're like, none of that really fits me, that's fine. Just tell us. We have a vault of fabrics that we have been collecting over time. We will actually go personally shopping. If there's someone that comes to us and says, hey, my guild is doing a challenge, I need to put together a yellow quilt, I have 0 yellow fabric in my stash, we will send you an entire box of yellow fabric. If you're like, hey, I'm making it up, I love linen. We've actually shipped linens to members before that have requested it. Or, hey, I have to make a bag for my sister-in-law who's having a baby and she wants black and white and gray baby stuff. We will actually ship you an entire box of that fabric. So we have kind of these guidelines, but then because of the way that box is set up, we can be customized, we can be specialized, and we can ship you really anything you ask for. Okay, if you have any questions about the classic, definitely pop them in the comments. My team will be popping through and answering them as we go. Thank you, Catherine, for joining us. Catherine's been a classic member for a while. We love reading Catherine's comments and packing a special box for her each month. All right, so today we are going to be giving away a $25 gift certificate to our shop. You can pop into the shop and you can get any of the Calliope kits, you can get remnants, $25 for whatever you want, guys. We also have a lot of hidden notions we're going to start featuring over the coming weeks. There's little hidden corners on the Cotton Cuts website that we need to be starting to explore. So in order to be entered to win that $25 gift certificate to our shop, in the comments, wherever you are watching this video, tell us what your favorite type of fabric is. Do you like batiks? Do you like florals? Do you like reproduction, holiday, juvenile, or blenders? What is your favorite and why? And if it's not one of those, tell us that too. We'll pick one lucky winner to get a $25 gift certificate, and we'll announce it on social media tomorrow. All right, so last reminders. So I interviewed Ingrid Alternator on Tuesday. She is our featured designer this month. If you are a classic or modern Maker Box member, you will receive a free pattern from Ingrid. Ingrid and I had a fantastic conversation. She is a foundation paper piece pattern designer. She designed over 300 patterns, guys. It was a fun interview. She was so classy. She was very, very nice. Definitely go back and watch that interview and be inspired to want to pick up one of her patterns and give it a whirl. And so these are the 4 patterns that you will get to choose from if you are a classic or a modern Maker Box member. Okay. Also, don't forget our Cotton Cuts Cares support organization this month is Children's Nutritional Program of Haiti. Every first-time Classic, Modern Maker, Java, or Chroma Super Pot membership, we will donate $5 to the organization so they continue to fight juvenile hunger in places like Haiti. And I'm so excited about this. Our Snippet Challenge is about halfway through, guys. The projects I am seeing are just like mind blowing. I love that you guys are grabbing the sustainability challenge we've put forth and taking all the scraps that we have left over from our process and upcycling them into projects that have high value and are super fun. Don't forget, there will be 2 groups of prizes. There is a small project and there is a quilt. We're already starting to collect the prizes for this, guys. You are not going to want to miss out. It will be voted on by you. This is not something where we go behind closed doors and people pick the design that's going to win. This is something, it's going to be, you guys get to pick. So you can share that website with all 300, 500, 600, 700 friends you have on Facebook and send them to the website to vote to pick the winner. I am also being reminded. So tonight we have our monthly Cotton Cuts Zoom sew-in. So this is a group of people that gathers once a month and just sews on whatever they're working on for Cotton Cuts. It started out PMQ. We're actually going to be making it bigger than that, guys. This is just going to be a fun way to get together and sew with people that you might not have a chance to sew with. We have people from abroad that are coming. We are going to be calling it a special name. Can you? Oh, okay. So Paula is like, help us name it. Okay. So this is a group that's been gathering for a couple years and has been sewing on Thursday nights. And we would love to make it bigger. And so we want to make it a guild. And so we've been brainstorming different names for this group. And as quilters are out there, there's a lot of sassy names that can be used, a lot of double entendres. So if you have a name for our Thursday monthly Zoom sew along and you would like to title this group with us, then help us do that. But it's one of these things, we're opening it up. It's going to be anyone in the Cotton Cuts family can join this Thursday night sew along. It is tonight. It starts at 7 o'clock Central Time and goes until 8:30. We will have a special host. It is May and a lot of us have children. And so as usual, we've got band concerts and baseball games and track meets and all the things going on. So we have brought in a special helper tonight to help us with the meeting. But this is something we're going to keep going for a long time. And we would love it if you joined us. And Paula, I think that is everything. Did I miss anything? What is she saying? What do we got? She's like whispering off in the corner, guys. Does not realize I cannot hear her. Okay, so if there is something important, we will definitely cover it next week. So, okay, so Paula is saying that she put the Zoom link to tonight's meeting in the comments. So if you are on Facebook and on YouTube, you can see it there, 7 o'clock tonight. Join via Zoom, come meet. They're a fun group. It's a lot of fun. I love hanging out there just talking with them because they are super awesome. So with that, I will let everyone go. Happy sewing, happy week, and I will see you guys virtually next week. Have a great day, everyone. Bye now.